Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. So Turles just arrived on Global Dokkan. Turles is a character that he's got some stuff, right? He has some damage reduction. He has the best link in the game, of course, which is Big Bad Bosses. Turles, of course, has his heal on his super attack effect, right? But the problem with this Turles is he's just underpowered. But this is not a Turles problem. I mean, I need more experience with the androids. I feel like the androids are probably like this. STR Super 17 is like this. I mean, Kale, Sword, like, it's just like nearly every premium unit this year is just not really good enough. Like, they're just given to us with major flaws or major issues. It's very rare that these characters come out and they're just going toe-to-toe with the toughest bosses in the game, which is what the newest summonable character should be doing, right? So, we're going to jump in. Let's just jump into, like, Red Zone Zamasu. A tough fight, but a fight that could allow us to build up a little bit. Now, here's the thing. The problem for Turles is this. Big Bad Bosses. Now, we'll start this out by running Turles' leader skill, which is Pure Saiyan / Space Traveling Warriors. So, essentially, Turles is going to need the Space Traveling Warrior category characters to give us Big Bad Bosses. Now, one character who could be useful as like a throwaway here, LR Metal Cooler. Remember that Metal Cooler characters, for some reason, are not Space Traveling Warrior characters. So, we're not going to see that. Remember that Turles, his character... Oh, brother, okay. Not really the greatest opener here, but we'll do our best. I guess we could do this. Okay, now let me take a look at this friend Turles. What are we looking like right here? Oh, pretty good. Yeah, I like it. 14 dodge, 17 additional. That's solid. Defensive equip. I'm seeing some stuff here. I can appreciate it for sure. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is a problem Turles can run into. Is Ki, I think, certainly can be an issue for him. The good thing, though, is that along with his super attack buildup, he builds up several things. Defense, damage reduction, and Ki as he supers. The problem here is that he gets 5% damage reduction per super up to 20%. I think if it was 10% per damage reduction per super up to 50%, like the 8th anniversary LR, I think that would be a little bit more suitable. All right, we're going to get cooked right here, but, I mean, this is the Turles experience is going to be getting cooked like this. Okay, oh, that's good, that's good. Yeah, that dodge saved us 50k. Please, additional super. Please, daddy. Oof, okay, well. Oof, okay, well, we did live, I guess. Okay, we barely lived. All right, not really the greatest opener. Again, there's no other play to have been made. That was literally the only thing we could have potentially done. I do like the idea of dodge on Turles above additional or crits, because you're just going to need to get out of jail free cards, because Turles is just flat out not good enough. Now, Amand and Raisin, remember, are a very good character. They can perform pretty well with Turles. We'll take some damage here. I mean, we're going to need Chi-Lai to come through. The thing about Turles, though, that could be pretty useful is, remember, he does heal with those super attacks, so we could bring some of this HP back. Alright, so on this turn right here, we don't have Big Bad Bosses up. Big Bad Bosses, of course, again, I mean, I say it always, always, and always, and always, but it is the strongest link in the game. Like, it's not, like, an exaggeration or anything like that. It is. It's just straight up the strongest link in the game. Turles' link set here, he has Saiyan Warrior Race, Big Bad Bosses, Thirst for Conquest, Brutal Beatdown, Prepare for Battle, Destroy the Universe, and Fierce Battle. So Turles does have a good villain link set. I would really like a unified villain team. Like, Legends has their powerful opponent team. I would love to see some sort of team like that given to us for Dokkan, because it's like, we do have some good villains here and there. Obviously, Piccolo Jr., the Zamasus. I mean, Turles can be okay. LR Final Form Cooler could be okay. LR Metal Cooler can be okay, right? But it's like, they don't have, like, a unified spot to run. For the, like, all the superclass Saiyans, right, like, it's very easy to just get spots for them. But for villains, not really so much. Now, we really need additional supers for HP. Oh, really? One. Okay. Yeah, because Turles gets an additional 60% attack and an additional that has a high chance to be a super and HP is 50% or more. So, obviously, we were not able to proc that because we were not above 50% HP or more. Yeah, we're gonna have to do this. We're in a pretty bad spot here. Yeah, I don't know. We're just cooked. The life of running villains. A super attack right away that we could have dodged would have been really good there. It's just like, you know, things don't... Like, villains right now in these fights... One attack again, thanks. Villains in these fights, like, you need things to go perfectly for you or you're cooked. Alright. He's at double digits. That's good. Great Ape Turles. That's a W. Alright, cooler. I don't think we could live here pretty much no matter what, just because our health is low, right? Like, if our health wants to improve... Just give us supers, daddy. Wait a minute. Zamasu, I mean, he hits hard, but what is it, like 1.2 million? I mean, I think Cooler, yeah, Cooler, I mean, he could eat this well, like 300k or something, right? But it's probably not going to be, yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Again, this is the life of using villain characters right now, is this. Like, they're, you know, it's like a lot of villains could, like, put up damage. Villains are heavily reliant on links to activate big portions of defense for them. It's just tough. It's just really tough for villains to operate in this current environment. Villains never truly recovered from Red Zone being implemented, right? I mean, certainly Cooler's team last year was good. TUR Cooler's not quite as good this year. LR Golden Freeze is still effective, but we were running the Turles team, so it's not like we had... LR Golden Free, we running double Turles the way we just did. Golden Frieza is not on the leader skill, and neither is Metal Cooler. Two baffling decisions by Dokkan to not have Golden Frieza and Metal Cooler characters on Space Traveling Warriors, and it just rears its ugly head. Okay, well, let's just get Turles' intro in the video, I guess. I mean, that was kind of an unfortunate... unfortunate start here. Alright, so one thing about Turles here, right, is that a lot of power, like it's a completely different experience with this character if we are proccing his intro, right? Because that intro, it gives the entire extreme class ally portion of the team 3 key and 18% attack. So now with the intro activated, Turles at the same time is a very powerful support type unit that's, again, hitting the entire team. That changes things quite a bit. The problem here is, while it's cool they gave him such a ridiculous ability, right, which of course is his intro, in all of the fights where you really need it, you can't use it. That's the problem. I mean, we could use the intro, and, you know, like, imagine how much different it would be for Turles if we could use his intro against Fusion Zamasu, if we could use it against Omega, right? Like, think about, on a lot of these major celebrations now, we've gotten missions for the final stages of Red Zone, right? We've gotten missions added to the Broly stage, the Omega Shenron stage, Cell Max, you know, Metal Cooler Core has missions, Fusion Zamasu, all these final stages get missions, but, like, Turles' intro can't do nothing against all those bosses, so... I just think that that was just incredibly foolish by Dokkan to design Turles in such a way where it works that way. I think maybe... Oh, we'll play this, sure. I think a much better thing Dokkan could have and should have done would have been the ability to maybe have the intro up if the entire team is a villain. I think if it's a full villain class setup, Turles should have been able to get it. Okay, so this friend Turles here is not Link level 10. All right, so we'll have to make sure to keep an eye just on my Turles for this run right here. I just wanted to jump in here, get Turles' intro, and then just kind of see some of Turles' stats, right? We did a run in a real tough fight, and, I mean, it is very tough in there. Because Turles, at the start of the fight, he can struggle for Ki if Ki is not looking good for us, right? Like, if on turn 1 we got, like, Chilai, remember, Turles gets a couple of super attacks, and then he builds up his Ki. He works a lot better after that. But it's like the character is designed around using his leader skill, or his intro, and you're not even really going to see that. Now, we could do his active skill right here. Turles is active. You could do this either on the 3rd turn if there's a Goku family enemy, or a Kid Gohan enemy, or from the start of turn 6. Really not the worst condition ever, I suppose, but a lot of the newer fights, I mean, do, you know, end pretty fast. I mean, some of these turn 5, you know, future Gohan and stuff like that, like, it actually can be a bit of an issue. Like getting to that turn, because things are different with the Dismal Future Red Zone, man. It's just a lot different, right? So we'll see. I hope that they actually start like releasing better characters, but we will see. We'll see. You know, like, hey, maybe, I don't know, release character. Like, you give a character where it's like, all right, they're super crazy against Goku family enemies, and then we never get the Goku family enemies. Turles, by the way, is another one of these characters, too, where, like additional RNG can really cuck you or not. Once Turles does 6 attacks, he becomes super effective against all types and gets another additional that has a high chance to be a super, but, again, this is yet another character who could cuck us, just based off of additional luck, right? I personally find myself not really enjoying these characters too much. These characters have crazy sort of like additional RNG. And remember, Turles is a character as well who needs to do super attacks, right? Because he builds up the Ki damage reduction and defense by doing super attacks. So when we get a turn like this where he doesn't do the super attacks, he's not fully building up. So it just leads to issues. Yeah, I mean, it's like, I wouldn't call Turles bad. Even now, he's not bad. I mean, he does have some damage reduction. He can get higher defense and stuff like that. But it just is really, I would say, problematic for Turles at points. He just feels, I would say, weaker than the bosses. To be fair, though, most of all of our teams at this point are, in fact, weaker than what the bosses are doing, right? The bosses at this point are just so crazy. And it's tough to sort of get a lot of these characters in there who can sort of like just go toe-to-toe with a lot of these big bosses. And, I mean, Turles is a character who has to build up, right? And Dokkan, I mean, the way they made the Dismal Future Red Zone, they designed it in such a way where characters don't have a chance to build up. So Turles right there, right, he's doing a 10 million. So we're about to get to hit number 6. Right, there we go. Okay, so there's hit number 6. And then a normal. Okay, and then finally we got to hit him with 10 system additional super, but it's like, yeah, that's super, normal, all over the place. Every super attack Turles does stack attack, too, which does have a purpose, because Turles has the active skill attack, right? So by him stacking attack, he is going to enable him to really be able to get the additional damage for his active skill. And if you've done the 6 attacks already, it will also be super effective against all types, which can be pretty good, too. All right, let's just get through this turn right here, and then we'll go ahead and pop the Turles active skill on the next rotation, and we'll kind of see how that is going to look like, right? Again, remember, Turles with his active skill does, you know, drop the Great Ape Kid Gohan sort of on the boss, and that can work out pretty well for us. All right, so let's go ahead and get through this. Let's just go ahead and finish this Goku off. It does feel very sad being in like the GT Legendary Goku event, but regardless, for a showcase we would want Turles to get his intro up, so it's like we're gonna have to go to like a weaker fight. I mean, I guess, I mean, what's like the hardest fight? Goku family? it's like there's a bunch of fights where we're going up against like bosses with Goku in the name, but like against an actual Goku family enemy, there's not like a ton of those, right? Like it's like that's why it would be really nice if they'd give us like these red zone fights that were actually against different types of enemies. All right, so let's go ahead and pop Turles' active right here. This should do a real decent amount of damage for us. What's Turles' defense at this point? He's at 800k. We don't have big bad bosses up right here, but we do have a lot of support. Remember, Amand and Raisin and Sheila are both giving support too. Alright, there we go. Not bad damage right there. So, yeah, I mean, we could just finish up right here. Let me know what you guys think of Turles. DOKKANFEST Turles here. I mean, he could do some stuff. It is nice that villains get a DOKKANFEST, but it's like every single time, like, there's, like, these little minor flaws in characters. They always will be able to creep up, right? Like, we'll always get, like, these little issues for characters kind of springing up, and you will feel them when you go into the toughest fights, right? So, I don't know. I mean, Turles is, like, a fringe, probably top 10 DOKKANFEST TUR right now. I like to split up the DOKKANFEST TURs and the easy TURs, but like Turles again, I would probably say somewhere like as like a fringe top 10 DOKKANFEST TUR. It's just things were really shaken up, I think, by the worldwide download celebration and how powerful some of the bosses are. I mean, Turles can be rather effective against Omega, but at the same time, it's very easy for Turles to just get one shot and smoked right off the board by STR Omega, right? I mean, these fights nowadays are just really crazy. And it's like these characters who do big damage, they could pretty easily tank normals most of the time, but then die to super attacks. They're a dime a dozen. We have just endless waves of those characters, right? Like this Turles is not reinventing anything. The point where he becomes, I think, a really intriguing character is when his intro is up, but they gave it a terrible condition. Swap it from against a Goku family enemy to maybe like a full villain team, and I think that this Turles would be quite a bit better. That intro, if you're using a double Turles team and you have 2 of that intro, I think the effect would be crazy, right? But, I mean, I don't know. That's just me. Let me know what you guys think of Turles, and I'll catch y'all next time.